Alright, let's talk about Vril lizards. Vril lizards, V-R-I-L, lizards. Um, Lizards. Our lizards, they have a proboscis on their head. They can eject it into someone's eye, drone them. Other person dies. Vril takes over the body. The other Vril body is dead. Let's talk about how they look. They have red scales, and there's also some with black scales and black skin. They have scales up and down their most of their arm and most of their legs. Their stomach is a little bit exposed. They're usually red. There's black ones, and their face is scaleless, so it looks like kind of like an insect almost. It's disgusting. They look pretty gross. Um, they have like these weird insect, claws coming out of their mouth. It kind of looks like a crab almost. They have eye stalks like a crab or an insect again. Their pupils are usually green. Their entire eyeball is usually green. It can be black. They kind of look like crustaceans. They have claws. Okay, they have a small claw and a big claw, kind of like a lobster. Okay, and they're about a foot tall. And there's type twos, which are a little bigger, and there's threes. There's there's fleas and stuff like that. We're not going to get into that because to me, they're not the same at all, but apparently they are. I don't know. But we're gonna talk about these. They like music. That's the one good thing about them. Everything else sucks. Uh, when I say everything else sucks, I mean everything else sucks. These things are really horrible. They don't really have enough intelligence to have compassion or love or interest. They just live. They just exist. They breed. They're asexual. They are asexual. They have a penis and a vagina. Okay, and they make like these rows of like sex. It's ridiculous. And you don't want to see that. Um, their feet kind of look like they have like almost like claws. I don't know. I haven't really taken a good look, taken a good look at these things because I don't really want to look at them. But what else? They have teeth, and they also have a blood spike. I don't think they have tongues, but they have a blood spike. And they probably do have tongues, but they can talk kind of. And also they write stuff on the wall sometimes with their claws, just scratch marks, and they can actually operate simple machinery. They're that smart and nothing more. It's just machinery. It's soulless material. These things have no compassion. They just care about breeding and killing and eating, basically, and they kill slowly because they feed off of fear. They get like a very intense high off of fear. They love it. It's like they vibrate with it. It's just it's very sick. Uh, and there's people like that too. Now let's talk about the droning process. People who are droned are able to feel some type of emotion if the people that they droned were smart enough. We all have a third eye and we need to unlock it, right? Then we can feel more. We really can. And if a Vril is smart enough as a human to unlock compassion, which is just a step down from the third eye, we have to unlock something beyond compassion. They just have to unlock compassion because they have none, right? But what if they could? See, I think some people who are droned are actually not too bad. I've met two of them, um, and they're pretty nice. They know a lot, and you try to talk about cloning and they shut you down. They say, "Oh, it's impossible. They didn't have that type of technology." You talk about real lizards, you know. But one skill they all have is they're able to tame lizards like no one else. That's how you know. But also, drones can be pretty nice people. But when they were real, they were not nice. So, if you want to talk about the rights that these drones have, um, I'd say some of them have rights. But there's also drones out there that never learn to have compassion, and they go around killing people like On the news where you see a dog, it says, "Oh, we beat it to death." LOL, haha, smiley face with evil brows. That wasn't a person that did that. People don't do that. Psychopaths do that. But psychopaths are very similar to drones, okay? They don't feel love either. So, very difficult. It's a difficult process. Let me check how much time I have. Alright, I got enough time. I got enough time. I got time for days. So, Vril, what do they eat? They can't eat vegetables, because vegetables make them sick. So they can eat meat and some fruits. And these things have been caught above ground as well. They wash up on the beach and shit, and they say, "Oh, what is this?" And it's such a big thing. It's like, I don't know. It's like no matter how many people find them, no matter how many people take pictures of them, we still don't know what they are. And that's because it's a huge secret. And it's not anymore, basically, but if we see one of these things on TV, no one's going to know what it is. No one at the news station is going to know what it is. They are, but they're not going to say that they do. And I guarantee you, some of them actually don't. Not everyone that goes to the clone center knows what these things are. A lot of people do. A lot of African Americans that go to the clone center don't know that they kind of, I don't know. It's like a slave thing. It really is. They enslave a lot of African Americans mentally with MK Ultra. There's different levels of MK Ultra. Okay, and we'll talk about that later because I'm under MK Ultra. But real lizards can be very dangerous. They come in swarms. Okay, they can spur you with like poisonous things, and they can disable you. You can't walk, and then you're just sitting there while these ugly, disgusting things eat you like insects. It's just really gross. They like to eat children because they're free from vaccines and alcohol and drugs. Not all of them. They got crack babies, but they don't like clones as much as they like real people because they taste different. If you touch a clone's skin, it feels like plastic. Okay. Um. Yeah, especially ones that are out here. There's different types of clones too. But for lizards, no clone tastes like a human. Okay, so they want humans, and they like to eat humans, and they've done it many times. They do it above ground too. You go to some secret beach at night, which they have satanic rituals, especially in Florida, in Miami. But also, they can kill you there. You go out to the back of a lighthouse when no one's there. They can kill you there. They can drone you there. And whoever finds the Vril body isn't going to say, "Oh, this is a Vril." Well, maybe now, but back then they would have never said that. So the person would still be alive. Maybe their eye would be pretty fucked up in the hospital or something, but they'd be alive, and they would no longer be them. The body would be alive, but the human would die, and the Vril body would be left behind. You know, it would be worse though, I think, if the human got inside the Vril and the Vril got inside the human. That would suck, because I would never want to look in the mirror and see that shit. And have my empathy taken away from me. Fuck that. So, you know, they're pretty stupid. Uh, they have hollow bones, so they're easy to crush. And, you know, you can pull their eye stalks out and stuff. It's another way to kill them. They turn out pretty small, like really small, and they get about a foot high. People keep them as pets. I don't know if they have tails or not. I've never really noticed.